Previously, I did a campfire stove for sort of twigs and sticks that you carry around in a backpack, and it turned out okay, but I wasn't particularly pleased with the design because you had to unfold it and then you had to put these pins in to keep it all together, and basically when I did it I'd cut too much space in the hole to put the twigs in, and it just basically I wasn't really happy with it. But recently I had to fix my barbecue grill because the burner covers and the heat dissipation units were rusted out, so I bought this sheet metal and fixed that. Then I had this sheet metal lying about and I thought, you know what, I'm going to have another go at this campfire thing, camp stove. So I decided I was going to do a different design, and I was looking weirdly at this electric pencil sharpener that I had, and it has a sort of a swivel top to allow you to empty out all of the sort of pencil shavings. So with that I thought, oh, that's not a bad idea, I can maybe use that as a basis for this camp stove thing. So I twiddled about with some paper and some designs, and I decided I was going to have a go at it. So I got out the old tin snips and I decided to just cut up what I needed out of this new piece of sheet metal. So this is stainless steel, so you can cook with it, you know, you don't have to worry about it poisoning you or whatever. And so I didn't draw out the design, I just measured it out as best I could, but it's relatively straightforward. You just need 3 pieces of metal, and then you bend up the metal on the sides about 2 centimeters, which oddly enough was the size of my level here, so I just used that and then just bent it so that it formed a sort of a covering. Now oddly, this is actually almost exactly what I had to do for my barbecue grill, so I'd already done this previously. So it's really easy to do, very straightforward. All you need is a hammer and a bit of tin snips to cut this out, and then a drill to drill the holes. Now I did not have any screws to put this together with, so I did have to pop down to a DIY shop and buy some nuts and bolts to bolt this all together. But the sheet metal was there. You could do this as I did with the old one, with a pair of sort of cheap baking tins that you can get, but you don't, you know, I had sheet metal only because I had to buy something else, so it was there and it was available, so I decided to use it. But yeah, this is a really simple and easy design. Now if you're looking at this and you're thinking these things are really huge, you're right. If I were to do this again, and in fact I might just modify this one by cutting this almost in half, like you don't even need that much length on the sides, so you could almost do this in half, and in fact it would probably wind out being a bit better. One of the other things, the problem with the design is actually I should have made one of them bend slightly further out than the other, just to make them fit each other, but if you're going to cut it short you wouldn't need to worry about that. So what I've done here is I basically fitted it closed like this, and then I had to find some way to basically keep it together while I was drilling it. So I just grabbed some duct tape and wrapped it around there so that I could drill some pilot holes into the thing. Now you can see here the sort of finished 3 pieces, but honestly the 2 longer ones are too long. The other one is just about perfect as a tray goes, but the other ones are too long, and in fact I could have made them all the same size as the smallest one and that would have worked out much better. Like I say, just a piece of duct tape to keep them all together while I drilled the pilot holes. So I I mean, this is really easy. You only need 4 holes. It's got more than enough airflow because it doesn't actually close. You're opening it. It looks you know, it's wide open to the air, so it's not a problem getting air into the fire. Now I did have one problem here, which is that the sheet metal I got is not the thickest in the world, and so it started to bend. So I was having some problems when I went to drill the larger holes. So obviously anybody can spot this particular rookie error, and you know, the easy way to fix that is to have something firm underneath of it when you're doing this hole. So as you, I think it's this one, yeah, you can see it wasn't working, and even smacking it with the to get a pilot hole didn't help. So I needed some backing. So what I've done here is I just stuck it on a bit of 2x4, and then hey presto, easy to do. So the centerpiece has 4 holes. The other ones have 2, as you can see, and then just assemble them together. So I went out and bought myself some nuts and bolts. It's just straightforward nuts and bolts with some washers to put in between so that I could pivot on it. And that's it. Just put it assembled together. But you'll see when I finally do the assembly, when you stand it up, that it is quite tall. And I'll say it's probably about 3 inches to the bottom of the centerpiece, and really that's just unnecessary. And in fact, it's unnecessary on the top as well, because what I've discovered is when I've used it, that the fire, because it's only little sticks and fire, you need, the flame doesn't go up that high, so you need it to be a bit closer to the flames than this particular cutout is. But it's easy enough to fix, and I'll probably just cut this back later. But it does work, and it works well as a design. So the bolts and the washers allow you to just pivot the things closed, and then it closes up into a nice small package that would easily fit inside of a backpack. And with it cut, it would be even better. Okay, I've got myself some sticks and bark and things, and I'm going to try out my new stove. So now I just need to bushcraft a fire.